Today, I want to bring you 3 self-help books that every single person should read. And I know I didn't show you the titles. Here are the titles. The reason I picked these 3 books was because I think these books are the most bang for your buck. There is a ton of self-help books. There is a million books by a million different authors that all say the same thing. Like, which one should you pick up? Which one should you not pick up? And the 3 I selected today are generic enough to help every single person, but they're specific enough to give you actual things to actually go and change about yourself. And that's the idea. Change yourself for a better you tomorrow. That's the basic idea of self-help. That's the basic idea of self-improvement. And without further ado, let's get into the first one. The first one is The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale. This is a very, very short book. It's really only about 80 pages, and it has a 30-day challenge at the end of it that will really help you focus in on where you want to go. And the basic idea of this book is that the amount of money you make is directly proportional to the amount of people you help. So instead of getting all up in arms about you don't make enough money, try to serve more people, try to benefit more people. And if you pursue this is what is going to make you more successful. And another idea that is in this book is success is not the amount of money you make. Success is the amount of money you make doing something you love. Like, are you a doctor because you wanted to be a doctor, or are you a doctor because people told you to be a doctor? And success is someone who does something because they want to do it and gets paid to do it because they want to do it. Like, isn't that the dream life? Isn't that what we should all shoot for? And that is what this book stresses over and over and over again. And another idea that Earl Nightingale talks about is vocabulary, the amount of books you read. He just has a lot of really good tips. One of the things he says is if you find time to read 10, 15 minutes a day, that's a few hundred books that you're going to read in your lifetime. And the only difference between someone who is a mid-level manager and the C-suite offices is the vocabulary, the way they can express themselves. If you learn more words, if you can express yourself in more unique ways, then you are going to be able to fine-tune what you say, fine-tune your intentions, and through this ability to communicate, you're going to be better able to represent yourself, better able to represent your interests, and through this, you're going to get promoted more. Another book that I really, really, really stress, I've talked about this book so many times, How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is the one book that if you study over and over and over again, you will get better. I don't say that about many books. I don't even particularly like this book. It's not something that I enjoy reading, but every time I go back through it, I learn something and then I apply it and I'm like, man, I should have been doing this my whole life. Like, my life would be so much better if I had applied this so much sooner. And the basic premise of this book is that everything that means anything is always done through communication. There is something about human connection that will always be more valuable than whatever other skills you can give. And the reason why the richest people in the world are the richest people in the world is it's not just because they're smart, because there's a lot of people that are a lot smarter than all of these billionaires, but it's because they can communicate and they are smart. They have the ability to do both. They have the ability to have the technical skills, but they also have the ability to deal with people, manage people, and get the most out of people. And that is the greatest skill that you can ever learn, and that is what this book will teach you. This book teaches you never to argue. The reason you never want to argue is because, let's say we're in a disagreement, and I clearly win the argument. Now you feel bad about yourself. Now you hold resentment, and you know what? Maybe you hold that resentment and eventually try to get back at me. Like, it's never good to win an argument. It's always good to show someone why they're wrong instead of explain why they're wrong. It's little basic things like this. Another great thing that this book talks about is if you're going to criticize someone, first give them a compliment. A good example of this would be if you have someone that is, working with you or doing anything with you and they do something wrong, say, dude, I love your energy. You're really, really doing a good job, but it's just this one thing. I think it'll save you a little bit more time. Breaking things down in a way that it seems more positive, it seems beneficial to them. Make people want to change. Make people think that whatever you're putting into their head is their idea. It's basic things like this that are going to take you so far. And at one point I heard someone say this is a toxic book. And I was like, dude, if using people's names and being nice to them and not arguing is toxic and manipulative, like, call me toxic and manipulative, because you know what? I'm trying to be as cordial as possible. I'm trying to get the best deal for both of us. And if that's toxic and manipulative, okay, then I don't know what to tell you. It's overall one of those books that if you apply everything, it's not only going to make you a better person, it's going to make people like you more, and you're going to be able to get more done through this. And that's the beauty of this book. This book teaches you the basic communication skills that you have failed to use your entire life. And it's quite unfortunate that we're not taught these things, but it's through reading books like this that we can get the advantage on everyone else. The last one is Think and Grow Rich. This is a book that is about the power of the mind, the power of faith, the power of ideas. Think and Grow Rich is not it's not really a good title. It's not really fitting for the actual message of the book, because it's not about getting riches. It's about creating the person that can create riches, creating the person that is so focused and so dedicated to whatever it is that they're trying to get done that nothing around them upsets them. Nothing around them affects them. It's about fixating on an idea so long that eventually it comes true. And that is the basic premise of the book, like living in the end, experiencing what it would feel like to already have it, and then start working to get it. And there's a lot of things in this book when it comes to getting over failure, getting over the common excuses that are going to be in your head. There's an entire chapter dedicated, I think it's like 38 excuses that aren't correct, that aren't true. And this is like the end all be all book when it comes to the mindset, when it comes to working with the mind. And I probably read 100 books on law of attraction, law of assumption. This one gets it the most accurate. You can read as many books about law of attraction as me, or you can just read this one and really study this one and really pick it apart, because everything that you'll find in other books is already here, and this one does it in such an entertaining and such a easy to digest fashion. I can't suggest this book enough. I will link all of these books in the description. These are the top 3 that I would say give you the most bang for your buck, but there are a ton of other self-help books that I would really suggest you read. If you want more suggestions based on, I don't know exactly what topic you're interested in, but if these topics weren't interesting to you, please ask me in the comments, because I will give you a suggestion based off whatever you're looking for. I do these videos simply because I don't want you to make the mistake of going out and buying a book, reading it, and going like, that's not what I want. I want you to be as excited about reading as I am, and hopefully through my suggestions you guys find a lot of information and really elevate the person who you are, because that's what it's about. It's about becoming a better person for yourself, and then giving that self to everyone else, giving that self to the people in your life that mean the most to you. And that's what I try to do every day, and I hope everyone else is trying to do that as well. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. If you want more from me, go ahead, join my Discord. That's when you find out when I'm streaming. I send some book quotes that I find throughout the day. And if you want even more from me, if you want my own writings, if you want my own stories and philosophical things, then go ahead, check out my school community. Love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Peace out. I'll catch you in the next one.